such a good question.
Yeah. Now, if there's one thing that I cannot stand, it's when somebody eats my cake, especially when I've labelled that cake clearly Bajo's cake in the back of the fridge.
It wasn't me, I'm a robot.
Well, it definitely wasn't me. It might have been those monsters in Monsters Ate My Birthday Cake.
In this puzzler for mobiles and PC, the dreaded Boogans have made off with pieces of scrumptious cake. So it's up to Nico and a bunch of oddballs he meets along the way to fetch them back.
You start off in Gogopo Village, a place that looks like it's straight out of a Zelda game. You can tell whoever made this is a big Nintendo fan. Nico can chat to the locals and snoop about the place, but this is just a starting point. Most of the game is about solving single map puzzles.
In each map, there are pieces of cake that are strategically placed out of reach, like behind a spike trap or a patrolling Boogan. The trick is figuring out how to get them all.
Affirmative. Nico has the ability to grab, pull and push blocks, allowing you to push down switches and clear pathways. But you'll also be joined by other characters, each with their own unique ability. There's Grogna, who can charge to break down obstacles. Claude, the rabbit-like creature, who can burrow under walls where there are dirt patches. Eek the bat, who can shatter crystals and stun enemies. And Biff the snowman, who can freeze water, allowing you to walk across. Plus, there are more characters you unlock as the puzzles get harder and harder.
This game reminded me a lot of an old NES game called The Adventures of Lolo. It was quite similar in many ways, all just one map, obstacles to get to the other side. Maybe that's another sign of their love for Nintendo showing through.
Yeah, I think so. There are two fishermen in the village who look a lot like two certain plumber brothers on a break.
Whatever the influence, it's just good game design. It's so much fun carefully studying each map and seeing how the traps work to figure out what the combination of moves for the solution actually is. For instance, you might need to turn an enemy into an ice block and use them as a weight. Getting to that cake looks simple, but it's not.
It was simple for me, Bajo, but for humans, it can lead to a lot of trial and error as you get close to collecting all the cake pieces. If you make a mistake, you need to restart the whole puzzle from the starting position, but you do learn from your mistakes.
The different types of Boogans really mix things up as well. There are ones that charge at you when you cross their eye line, and others that shriek to disable your abilities if you get too close. I was left scratching my head a few times.
Yeah, I love that it's difficult, and there's quite a lot of story here for a puzzle game, and some hidden quests too. But I did find the little story scenes that pop up went on for far too long. There was definitely too much dialogue when all I wanted to do was get to the next puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little overwritten, but you can skip those bits, Bajo. Plus, I like that there's a story layer. Nico's little adventure was charming, and it made me chuckle.
Unfortunately, I did find some technical deficiencies within the game.
Ooh, do tell, Darren.
The maps are not quite on a perfect grid, so sometimes pushing or pulling a block can get stuck because it's not perfectly aligned. Also, your characters can get in the way of each other, so it's fiddly moving them around in tight spaces.
I did find it annoying that it resets if you die, because you end up redoing bits of puzzle that you've done before again and again just to get back to where you were. It's so repetitive. I really think a checkpoint system would have helped.
Affirmative. Some maps had me stumped for an extra 1/5 of a second over my normal processing speed. I had to overclock some buses to compensate.
Wow, Darren, a whole 1/5 of a second.
It was an eternity for me.
A waste of your time.
Affirmative.
Well, I think this game is actually best played with a tablet. It just really suits that kind of interface, and also for some reason on PC it's more expensive.
What are you giving it, Bajo?
I think this game has plenty of challenge, and I haven't played anything like this since the old NES days, so there's a bit of nostalgia in there too. I think it's worth 9 out of 10.
There's a lot of depth to it, isn't there? And loads of maps. Plus, I like that you can test your skills against a time limit, so I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10.